Welcome back. The Pinson Valley Indians ran into a buzzsaw as they go up and take on Decatur Austin, losing this one 35-7. But Pinson takes the opening drive. They drive down the field. They come very close to putting it in to start the ball game. Would the game have been different if they scored that touchdown?
You know, I tend to think so. I don't know that they would have won, but the game would have held on a lot longer. They drove down, and then on 4th and 1, they brought in Jay Woods, who's a cornerback. He's committed to South Alabama, a really good ball player. They brought him in to take a direct snap and try to run the ball. Coach Glover told me after the game they thought they had something there because they hadn't run that play in a few weeks. But Austin was all over it, and it got stuffed. And Austin takes the ball from that point, goes all the way down the field looking to score, but they fumbled the ball at the 1-yard line. So Pinson gets some momentum back, but on 3rd down, the quarterback just threw it up in the air, and Austin picked it off, took it in for the 7-0 lead. And at that point, you just kind of feel the air let out like, uh-oh, we might be in trouble tonight.
Well, and when you're playing a team like Austin, they have a very punishing run game. And, it remind me a little bit of Arkansas in the SEC. They're just going to pound you, smother you with that run game. They had 350 yards rushing. They had, like you said in the article, 3 guys almost go for 100 yards plus.
Well, they had 3 really good running backs. 2 of those running backs went over 100. In the third, he scored a touchdown. And even their quarterback, I think he ended up with about 98 yards. So, and he scored a pair of touchdowns. Just from all over the place, they just hit Pinson Valley in the mouth with fresh set of legs over and over again, and it was just too much.
So Pinson finishes a really nice year, 7-4. Lots to build on going into next year, and they were a bit of a surprise to us, I think, this year.
Yeah, well, in my game preview, I wrote about looking back at the spring. Coach Glover told his team that making the playoffs is not our goal anymore. They wanted to become a program that can consistently win some games each year because this was the 7th season. They've made the playoffs the last 6 years, so they've become a consistent program, getting to the postseason every year. But yeah, I thought it would be a struggle for them to get there this year after they lost Nick Gibson and a handful of other guys. But yeah, they were a team this year, and they really proved a lot of people wrong and had a good season.
Well, when Alan and I sat here in our preseason show, we looked down the schedule and we said, boy, that looks tough. How are they going to make the playoffs? And they actually wind up having a very good year. Lots to build on going into next year, so they can hold their heads high. They had a good season this year.
Sure, they've got a lot of skill players coming back, so I expect them to be able to build on this year.
All right, when we come back, we're going to preview Clay Chalkville and their round 2 opponent, the Homewood Patriots.